they did not follow us once into the house like anyone else would have done, seems to me to show that they have some sense of shame left.
They're approaching. That's very forward of them.
Let us preserve a dignified silence.
Certainly, it is the only thing to do now.
This dignified silence seems to produce an unpleasant effect.
A most distasteful one.
But we will not be the first ones to speak.
Certainly not.
Mr. Worthing!
Yes, my love.
A moment. May I ask you a question?
Sure.
Much depends upon your reply.
Gwendolen, your common sense is invaluable. Mr. Moncrieff?
Yes.
Kindly answer me the following question. Why did you pretend to be my guardian's brother?
In order that I might have an opportunity of meeting you.
His explanation seems satisfactory, does it not?
Yes, dear. If you can believe him.
I don't.
Mr. Worthing,
Yes, ma'am.
what explanation can you offer to me for pretending that you have a brother? Was it an order so that you could come up to town as often as possible to visit me?
Can you doubt it, Miss Fairfax?
I have the gravest doubts upon the subject. Your explanation seemed to be quite satisfactory, especially Mr. Worthing's. It seems to me to show that they have a stamp of truth upon it.
I'm more than content with what Mr. Moncrieff said.
Then you think we should forgive them?
Yes. I mean, no!
True. There are principles at stake that one cannot surrender. Your Christian names are still an insuperable barrier.
That is all.
Our Christian names? Is that all? But we are going to be christened this afternoon.
Oh, for my sake, you're prepared to do this terrible thing.
I am.
To please me, you are ready to face this fearful ordeal.
I am.
How absurd it is to talk of equality of sexes. When questions of self-sacrifice are concerned, men are infinitely beyond us.
We
are.
They have moments of physical courage of which we women know absolutely nothing.
Darling.
Darling.
Hey.
Yes. Lord Bracknell. Good heavens.
Gwendolen! Gwendolen! Gwendolen?
Gwendolen!
Gwendolen! What is the meaning of this?
Merely that I'm going to get married to Mr. Worthing.
Sit down.
Ah!
Sit down immediately. Mr. Worthing?
Yes.
You'll clearly understand that all communications between yourself and my daughter must cease from this moment. On this point, indeed on all points, I'm firm.
I'm engaged to be married to Gwendolen, Lord Bracknell.
You are nothing of the kind, sir.
Okay.
And now, as regards Algernon, may I ask who... Algernon!
Yes, Uncle Bracknell.
May I ask if it is in this house that your invalid friend, Mr. Bhandari, resides?
Bhandari. Bhandari. Bhandari.
Yes, Bhandari!
Bhandari doesn't live here. Bhandari is somewhere else at the present moment. In fact, Bhandari is dead.
Okay. When did Mr. Bhandari die? His death must have been extremely sudden.
I killed Bhandari this afternoon. I mean, poor friend Bhandari died this afternoon.
What did he die of?
Bhandari? He was quite exploded.
Exploded? Was he a victim of a revolutionary outrage? Never mind. Mr. Redding?
Yes, Lord Bracknell.
Now that we have finally got rid of this Mr. Bhandari, may I ask, who's that young person my nephew Algernon is now holding in what seems to me a peculiarly unnecessary manner?
That lady, Lord Bracknell, is my ward, Miss Cecily Cardew.
I'm engaged to be married to Cecily, Uncle Bracknell.
I beg your pardon?
I'm engaged to be married to Cecily, Uncle Bracknell.
Mr. Moncrieff and I are engaged to be married, Lord Bracknell.
I do not know whether there is anything peculiarly exciting in the air of this part of Hertfordshire, but the number of engagements that go on seems to be considerably above the proper average that statistics have laid down for my guidance. I suppose some preliminary inquiry on my part should not be out of place, Mr. Redding.
Yes, Lord Bracknell.
May I ask if Miss Cardew here belongs to any of the larger railway stations in London? I merely desire information, because until yesterday I had no ideas that there were families and persons whose origin was a terminus.
Lord Bracknell, Miss Cardew is the granddaughter of the late Mr. Thomas Cardew of 149 Belgrave Square, Southwest, Doway's Park, Dorking, Surrey, and the Sporran, Fifeshire, northbound.
That sounds not unsatisfactory. 3 addresses always inspire confidence,
I'm sure.
even in tradesmen. But what proof do I have of their authenticity?
I have preserved the cord guides of the period. They are open to inspection, Lord Bracknell. Miss Cardew's family solicitors are Messrs. Markby, and Markby.
Markby, and Markby.
Yes,
A firm of the very highest position in their profession.
indeed.
Indeed, I'm told that one of the Mr. Markbys is occasionally to be seen at dinner parties. So far, I'm satisfied.
How very generous of you, Lord Bracknell.
Gwendolen, the time approaches for our departure. We have not a moment to lose. As a matter of form, Mr. Redding, may I ask if Miss Cardew here holds any little fortune?
Oh, about £130,000 in the funds. That is all. Goodbye, Lord Bracknell. So pleased to have seen you. Lord Bracknell?
A moment, Mr. Redding.
Sure.
£130,000.
Yes,
And in the funds.
yes.
Miss Cardew seems to be the most attractive young lady now that I look at her. Very few girls of the present age have any really solid qualities. Any of the qualities that last and improve with time. I regret when I say we live in an age of surfaces. Come over here, dear. Pretty child, your dress is sadly simple. Oh, and your hair looks almost as nature might have left it. But that can soon be altered. Kindly turn around, sweet child. No! The side view is what I want. Yes. Yes. Quite as I expected. There are distinct social possibilities in Miss Cardew's profile. The two weak points in our age are its want of principle and its want of profile. The chin a little higher, dear. Style largely depends upon the way the chin is worn. They are worn quite high, just at present. Algernon?
Yes?
There are distinct social possibilities in Miss Cardew's profile.
Cecily is the prettiest girl I ever saw in my life. And I don't care to bet about the social possibilities.
Algernon, never speak disrespectfully of society again. Only people who cannot get into it do that. Dear child, of course you know that Algernon has nothing but his debts to depend upon. But I do not approve of mercenary marriages. When I married Lady Bracknell, I had no fortune of any kind. But I never let that to allow and dream it could come in my way. I suppose I must give my consent.
Thank you, good Bracknell.
Well, the marriage had better take place quite soon.
Thank you, good Bracknell.
Sweet child.
Yes?
Algernon. Children! I shall speak frankly. I do not approve of long engagements. I think they give people the opportunity of finding out each other's character before marriage. Which I think is never advisable.
I beg your pardon, Lord Bracknell, but this engagement is quite out of the question. I am Miss Cardew's guardian, and Miss Cardew cannot marry without my consent till she comes of age.
Upon what grounds, may I ask? Algernon is an extremely, I may almost say ostentatiously eligible young man. He has nothing, but he looks everything. What more can one desire?
It pains me very much, Lord Bracknell, to speak frankly to you, but I do not approve of your nephew's moral character at all. I suspect him of being untruthful.
Untruthful?
Yes, Lord Bracknell.
My nephew Algernon?
Yes.
Impossible. He's an Oxanian.
I fear there can be no possible doubt about that. This afternoon, during my temporary absence on an important question in London, on an important question of romance, he obtained admission to my house under the false pretense of being my brother, Earnest. Continuing his disgraceful deception, he succeeded in the course of the afternoon in alienating the affections of my only ward. He subsequently stayed to tea and devoured every single muffin. What makes his conduct all the more heartless is that he knew from the very beginning that I have no brother, Earnest. I have no brother at all, and I certainly don't intend to have ever having one in the future. I told him so yesterday afternoon myself.
Mr. Worthing,
Yes.
after careful consideration, I finally decided to entirely overlook my nephew's conduct to you.
That's really kind of you, Lord Bracknell. But my decision is, however, unalterable. I decline to give my consent.
Dear child, how old are you?
Well, I'm only really 18, but admitted 20 when I go to evening parties.
What?
And you are quite right in making those slight alterations. In fact, no woman should ever be quite accurate about her age. It looks so,
Calculating.
calculating. 18, but admitting to 20 at dinner parties. So, I guess your guardian's consent is after all of no importance.
Pray excuse me, Lord Bracknell, for interrupting you again. But according to Miss Cardew's grandfather's terms, Miss Cardew does not come legally of age till she is 35.
That doesn't seem to be a grave objection.
Oh.
London society is full of women of the very highest birth who have of their own free will remained 35 for years.
Algie, could you wait for me till I was 35?
Of course I could. You know I could.
I felt it instinctively, but I can't wait all that time. Waiting for anybody even for 5 minutes makes me rather cross. I'm not punctual myself, I know. But I do like punctuality in others. And waiting to get married is quite out of the question.
Then what is to be done, Cecily?
I don't know, Mr. Moncrieff.
My dear Mr. Worthing, as you can see, Miss Cardew states positively that she cannot wait until she's 35. A remark which I'm bound to say sounds to be a somewhat impatient nature, but I would beg you to reconsider your decision.
But my dear Lord Bracknell, the matter is entirely in your hands. The moment you allow me to marry your daughter, Gwendolen, I will most certainly allow your nephew to form an alliance with my ward.
You must be quite aware that what you propose is out of the question.
Then a passionate celibacy is all any of us can look forward to.
That is not the destiny I propose for Gwendolen. Algernon, of course, can choose for himself. Come on, dear. We have missed 5, if not 6 trains. To miss any more might expose us to comment on the platform.